You'll remember that in lessons 4 and 5, we learned first declension feminine nouns. And we said that a declension was a group of nouns that took the same or similar endings in the various cases. So now we're going to look at another declension, the second declension, which is mostly masculine nouns. And we're going to take a look at the definite article in the masculine, because remember, definite articles need to agree with their nouns in case, number, and gender. So now that we have some masculine nouns, we're going to need to have a masculine definite article to go with them. All right, so the first second declension noun that we're going to look at is anthropos. And anthropos means human or man. And let's take a look. Anthropos, nominative singular, anthropou, genitive singular, anthropoi, anthropon, anthropa, and in the plural, anthropoi, anthropon, anthropois, anthropous, anthropoi. So we have these endings os, ou, oi, on, e. Notice that these have a different vocative from the nominative. Oi, on, ois, us, and in the plural, the vocative looks just like the nominative, oi. So you have a stem plus these new endings. And if you can compare them to the first declension endings, you'll see that they're not completely different. There's some similarities there. Now we're going to talk briefly about what's going on with the accents here. So anthropos wants to be accented on above the on here, above that alpha. That's on the antepenult. And it is wherever the ultima is short. Remember that just like final I, alpha iota, in the nominative and vocative plural of first declension nouns counts as short for purposes of accentuation, this final oi, that counts as short for purposes of accentuation too. So there too, the accent can stay on the antepenult. So everywhere that the ultima is short, the accent can stay on the antepenult. But when the ultima of a word is long, the accent can't go all the way back to the antepenult. It can't go further back than the penult. So all the times the final syllable here is long, it's going to pull that accent to the penult. Okay, it can't be as far back as it wants to be. All right, let's look at another second declension masculine noun. And you're going to see it uses the exact same endings we have for anthropos. This is potamos, river, like a hippopotamus is a river horse. And exact same endings as for anthropos. The only difference is it wants to be accented on its ultima. And the accent can stay on the ultima throughout, but just like with first declension nouns, when a second declension noun is accented on its ultima, that accent has to change to a circumflex in the genitive and dative, singular and plural. Okay? Other than that, this looks just like anthropos. Although, I'm going to make one more note. Let's go back to anthropos. You'll remember that all first declension nouns have in the genitive plural a circumflex on the ultima. That's not true of second declension nouns. You can see that anthropon has its accent on the penult there. All right, so let's look at the definite article, the masculine of the definite article. And just like the feminine definite article looked a lot like the endings of the first declension, the masculine definite article looks a lot like the endings of the second declension. Just like the feminine definite article, right? We have a T everywhere but in the nominative, where we have just the rough breathing. So ho, tu, toi, ton, no vocative. And in the plural, hoi, ton, tois, tus. And that's the masculine definite article. So we've said that nouns have gender. Every noun is masculine or feminine, or, as we'll see in a little bit, neuter. And the way that you tell this is from the vocab entry. So let's look at this noun here first. Lithos, lithu, ha. So we've got the nominative singular, we've got the genitive singular. The genitive singular shows us what declension it is. Okay, if it's oo, it's second declension. If it's ace, it's first declension, or os, also first declension. So far, we haven't met any nouns that can fool you with a funny nominative, but when we add in the third declension, you're going to see that the genitive is the thing that'll tell you for sure what declension a noun belongs to. All right, so we get our nominative singular, we get our genitive singular ending, so lithos, lithu, and then we get the nominative singular of the appropriate definite article. So ha means it's masculine, he means it's feminine. So lithos, lithu, so it must be second declension, ha must be masculine. Adelphe, adelphes must be first declension, and it's a first declension that ends in eta. It's an eta stem. He, it must be feminine. Now let's look at this one. Hodos, hodu, so it must be second declension, but he is the definite article, so it must be feminine. There are a few second declension feminine nouns, not very many at all, and you will know them from the vocab checklist. They're going to give you a feminine definite article. Okay, and that's it.